Sometimes life forces you to make a whole 180, and you have exactly two choices then. You can then either choose to let those uncontrollable circumstances break you, or you can actually decide to completely rebuild your life from scratch. I have so been there, and I actually decided to rebuild our life from scratch. The tool that I'm going to share with you today is actually what I believe has been one of the most important tools I've had on my way to not just rebuild my life from scratch, but to actually become my most happiest, successful, and best self I've ever been in my life. This is not just another journaling or a planning method, and you know I love me some journaling and planning. However, this is the one thing that really helps me stay on top of my energy, make sure I'm in check with my priorities, make sure I'm on track and how it's going, make sure that I really stick to my vision no matter what life is going to throw at me. And today I'm going to show you exactly how this works. Hi, I'm Catherine Louise. I'm an executive coach. I am a communication consultant for C-level in one of Europe's largest corporations, and I am a mama to my 3 beautiful children. If you are just so ready to finally become her, to finally become that best version of yourself, you are definitely in the right spot. Checking my analytics, I figured that actually 85% of my viewers and my listeners are not subscribed just yet. So if this is you and you've been loving this, please make sure to subscribe. It's literally going to take you a second. It's for free and it would actually mean the world to me. So this is actually not about pushing yourself harder. It is not about writing endless lists of goals and whatnot. However, this is in fact to really calibrate into that woman, into the version of yourself you're wanting to be. And I actually do call this my life meeting because honestly, it's no less than that. It is that one time in a month where I really do sit down and reflect on my entire life. So I do have very specific things I'm going through that I'm going to share with you in just a second that really do help me have this complete life meeting. The results I saw just in the very first month doing my life meeting have been so mind-blowing. And again, it took me from starting to having to rebuild my entire life to now being that version of myself that I couldn't be more grateful for, are mind-blowing. So the very first thing I always do, and it is necessary to really sit down and focus on that, is one, you really want to set the scene. You want to step into that energy. What I mean by that is obviously you want to make sure that nobody's going to disturb you. Set that phone on airplane mode. Yes, we're doing this because again, this is your life meeting. You really want to take out the time and you really want to take this serious. Whatever you need in order to create that space where you can really open up and be vulnerable to yourself, go ahead and do just that. Number one is you really want to sit tall and ask yourself, if I would already be that version of myself who is living the career, the business, in the house, with the family, creating all the circumstances that you are longing for, that you have desire for, how would that version of yourself move this month through all the current circumstances that you currently have? How would she deal with it? How would she move through it? What I do then, and honestly, that has been one of the greatest game changers, and I would have never thought it could have that impact. However, I do choose either a word or maybe even a complete sentence as sort of like the topic for my month ahead. This is something you really want to think about ideally every day because again, it's going to set the scene for your month ahead. So if for instance, you want to use something like gratitude, then you really want to make sure you think about this every day. So every single day you are aware of the things that you can really be grateful for. Or if you're going through a maybe challenging time in your life, choose something like surrender, to really be aware of the fact that you only can control so much and you really want to do yourself that service and only go for the things that you actually do have control over. So surrendering is a big thing. If you are working on something very specific in that month, you could go for something like, I move through this month with calm and ease and magnetize everything that is being needed. And this is why this is in fact going to work for you. If you are setting the scene for the month ahead, if you are stepping into your future self, every single decision that you make this month, every single action that you do this month will actually align with that future self of yours. So now that we set the scene, we really want to reflect on the past month, because especially the things that have been draining you, you actually still carry that energy, maybe that sadness, maybe being drained, or maybe just not being motivated going into the new month. So step number 2 is super important. I also call this the reality and alignment scan, just to also really not being judgmental towards yourself. The first one is something I really like, because I do believe you're going to learn a whole lot of things about yourself, which is, where did I feel most in my power in the previous month? Then you really want to ask yourself, what felt light and yet impactful this month? We're digging a little deeper when we ask ourselves, what felt heavy or even misaligned with my vision? And then last but not least, what am I leaving behind in the old month? This is why this is going to work, and I love it so much, because reflecting is super important. This is going to keep your energy clean, and it's going to keep your focus sharp, and this is what we need. Also, you're not going to drag any old, not serving energy towards the new month. By the way, if you want to dig deeper in the progress, my masterclass, Her Energy, Her Shift, Her Power, is open now. So if you want me to walk you through the exact identity recalibration, make sure to check it out. The link is down below in the show notes. Number 3 of our live meeting is actually going to be about planning the month ahead a bit more precise, because remember, if you really want to achieve your goals and if really things are important for you, you have to make sure to actually make that possible. So for my life, I have created 4 pillars that are specifically important to me. Please go ahead and take whatever works and resonates with you, and just go ahead and recreate whatever feels most aligned for you. So number 1 is obviously my family, my friends, my relationships that are super important for me. And I really make sure every single month I go ahead and really think about, what kinds of memories do I want to create in the month moving forward? What can I do? What can I plan to really create those beautiful memories? Another thing that might be super important is, how can I create that soft and cozy and home feeling in our home? What can I do to elevate our space? So that might be also something that you could really consider in your life meeting. The second pillar in my life meeting is actually self and well-being. This is where I'm really making sure that I nurture my mind, my body, that I really make sure that I'm good and I have all the energy moving forward. So planning the month ahead, I'm really also checking my schedule and see what's going to happen, so I can really make sure I plan ahead. When do I need more time to rest? When do I need more time to really nurture myself? And really, what is my body and my mind asking for in that specific stage? Also, what I love to do, I love reflecting on the previous month and really figure, what part of my self-care routine has specifically nurturing me? What has been like super positive in terms of my nervous system? And then I take whatever has been working. Like when you have specific stressful phases in your life, you might need different things than in, for instance, more calm phases, if you know what I mean. And you really want to, make sure you are adjusted for every single phase of your life. Number 3 is definitely my career and also my business. Like I'm really asking myself, what has been my most aligned win this month? What has been working specifically well for me? What am I going to take with me moving forward to the next month? what might have not been working as well for me and what am I just going to leave behind. I also think about what is that thing I can do to really speed up my goal and really, also think about, are there new things I want to try? Also, super important in terms of growth in your career and your business is how do you want to invest yourself in the coming up month in terms of skills, visibility, network, support, all of the things. What has been working well for you in the past? Is there maybe something new you want to invest in yourself in terms of networking, for instance? Is there an event you can go to that you can meet new people? All those kind of things you really want to think about, reflect, and also make sure you have like a list of things you want to improve in terms of your career and your business, to make sure to not miss out or just to constantly invest into the same things. Like you really want to make sure you test and go for new things too. My fourth pillar in my life meeting is actually my lifestyle and how I'm living my life, the goals that I have for me and my family, like thinking about what kind of experiences in the past month has been so well for us. Like, how do I want to elevate our lifestyles? Where do I might want to invest personally? All these kind of things is where I'm putting in my fourth pillar. Having such pillars is going to work for you because it actually means that you're not letting one area rise on the expense of some other area in your life. It means that you are elevating your whole entire life as a whole. Number 4 in my life meeting is then the decisive plan. That means that for each one of my pillars, I choose one non-negotiable. That means that for each pillar, I know I'm going to do one thing. Again, it's a non-negotiable. I'm going to put that in my calendar and I'm going to make sure it's actually going to be done. If you still then have a little bit of extra space, again, make sure you're not overwhelming yourself. That's not what you want to do. You could also have a little nice to have. So just in case you might have a little bit of more capacity in one of your pillars, this is what you can do then. And this is actually why this is going to work wonders for you, because if you have in every single one of your pillars one focused move every single month, that's going to take you so much further than having like a list of 30 to-do things that might not even work out. Number 5 is something that is so special and even emotional, is you're going to write a letter to your future self. We're going to write a letter from the perspective of your future self. That means we're going to write just like 3 to 5 sentences as if the month would have already happened. So that basically means you're writing from the perspective of your future self 1 month from now and how the month went. So you really want to make sure you write about something that is important for you for the month ahead. So for instance, something like, this month went so extremely well. I was able to score this and that goals in my career. I was able to spend so much amazing time with my kids, with my family, with my friends. We made those memories, all the kind of things. What this is going to make is going to set the scene for your month ahead. You already can almost taste the energy of what it feels like moving through the coming up month. This is actually also how you literally program your subconscious mind for your month ahead. And remember, your brain is not able to tell the difference between something you envision and something you actually experience. So if you can go ahead and program your subconscious mind like that and really envision all the things you want to experience in the month ahead, you make sure you actually take all of the decisions and take the actions that it actually requires to experience exactly that. This kind of life meetings shows such extremely positive and amazing results because it is actually identity based and not focused on productivity. The key here is, which most people would totally not understand, is that when you focus on identity based, it's going to take you so much quicker, faster towards your goal than if you would just solely focus on productivity. By the way, if you want to become an insider, if you want to learn all the sweet tea I'm sharing nowhere else, then you should really sign up for my Sunday mail. The link is down below in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching and for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!